Welcome to the show, Wave On, and I'm the host here, Misty, with Luna Moon Stand-Up Paddleboard Yoga in the house. Yes, I still get asked, what does SUP stand for? SUP, Stand Up Paddle, and Luna Moon SUP Yoga, all on the side of my van with girls on paddleboards, graphics. I can't imagine what someone might be thinking when they see my van if they're not even familiar with the sport of paddleboarding. If you know, you know. Anyway, a little behind the scenes type of episode. The show itself, if you're new to listening in, I have had interviews, people that come on and talk about their business, whether it's similar to what I do or in the relation of outdoors, or just supporting each other as a small business and meeting somebody else local in the area. But I also have to keep the podcast going, so I'm doing a little bit of a different format where it's a little shorter and sweeter and maybe a little more to the point. So we're just going to weave things in. I'll still take interviews. If you have a guest in mind, you can even let me know. That'd be awesome to connect with others, because that's part of about the paddleboard as well. Even though you're on your own vessel, it's like we're still connecting with each other and nature, and maybe we have a phone or two taking some pictures, but we got to share the story as well. I mean, this is a big part of it when you have people that want to share the story, don't mind, taking a couple minutes to give behind the scenes. What does it look like? I mean, even though this is very transparent business when you're out in the open, I mean, people walking by can see the gear, see us, but not everybody gets that viewpoint. I mean, that's a very small percentage. And so I've been getting creative with how to share the message, even listening to others. And I was just writing down some things, and I thought, you know what? It's time to do a quick podcast here and talk about the last couple weeks, which have been amazing. I feel like it's a little bit more like summer here in September. And that's hard to say, because why wouldn't July feel like summer with the heat? True. But, we deserve a little break from some of the wind and smoke, maybe even the humidity. And the last couple weeks here have been pretty nice on the water. I mean, glass, nice sunsets, great community and conversation and connection going on as well. Last night, I have to share back to talking about going live on the water. And I think it's just a nice balance because, we're just trying to tell the story. We're not trying to show off. We just want others to join, and we're tapping into maybe people's fears or anxiety about coming out. And what does that look like? Well, I've had even a couple conversations over the summer that I don't know as if I was that convincing. A lot of hesitation. And how do we move past that? A lot of it is trust. I mean, I really put myself out there as being a real voice, a real person, and supporting one another, even in our little group, our little pod that comes together to go to paddle. I mean, there was some terminology even last night. I love learning from everybody because we bring up topics like what to wear. Why does that board look a little different than this board? So gear talk and accessories. And it's amazing to have that connection on my end when I hear other stories and voices, and I like to listen and include then in the actual what is going on. So, which makes actually ending the season very hard. Every year, it just gets harder and harder because in Michigan, we have such a long, tough winter, and probably tougher for me, maybe versus others. But it's because I don't get that connection, and we're not talking about paddling. I love to talk about paddleboarding. I love to talk about being on the water and why and how everyone can benefit from this. So, talking about some gear, a couple things I've been kind of doing some content on is your feet. And that's a common question that I've been getting is, do your feet hurt or why do they hurt? And there's a lot of different reasons actually. And I did a film. I filmed some stuff on this week, which I'm actually excited to share. It just takes me the editing to do. And so anyway, that's a whole nother topic, but your feet. Why do your feet hurt? Well, if you're brand new to it, or if you don't do it often enough, your feet will get a little achy, and everybody's different. So in my case, I do have plantar fasciitis and both feet, one a little more harsh than the other. So in the beginning of my season, when I start, and I'm doing it now almost every single day, I will have a flare up. Now, throughout the summer, it kind of goes away, but there is occasional times. Maybe it has something to do with the weather, cold, humidity, anything, right? Especially when you're talking about bones, as I do have bunions as well. So I just do stretches, and I know that sounds very like simple, but when you're off the board, you can do some stretches, and I'll be sharing like on my YouTube, Luna Moon SUP, all these tips and tricks. So I would definitely follow along on YouTube just so you get the visual, and the coaching that I'm kind of putting together it's going to be free. I mean, you can just get to watch and see what's going on. So besides off of the board, on the board when it's happening, you can just start to move your feet. Now that comes with a lot of confidence when you're first starting out, because you're just trying to stand. And the tendency is to lock knees, death grip the board with the toes. You want to move your toes a little. You want to even try to lift your heels to engage your calf muscles, and that will help with some circulation, moving back and forth. Now, I will say that, yes, these things help. It doesn't mean that it's going to go away, really, just because you are still working a lot of muscles you do not use in yoga, walking, standing, any other exercise. There's a lot of little micro muscles within your shins, even, coming up to your knees, that you're using a lot of. It's beside your core and your shoulders. This is a real full body workout. It's great for women, especially fighting osteoporosis later in life, circulation, muscle growth, and then just for your mind. I mean, let's not forget about your mind, to just reset, have a great night with some people who are very supportive. I mean, even last night, someone brand new learning but embraces it and just takes it on. I coach her to the right spot where she could try to stand, because that was really what she wants to do. And of course she falls, but she gets right back up. I coach her how to get back on so she at least could touch the bottom, and then how to get her upper body back up on the board, and then swinging back up. So we go through all of that like a few times, and every time she just came up smiling. And I mean, that's so great to see. And that's a different type of learner. There's various learners is my point. And that's really great. So we just coached her through all of this, and yet she's still willing to try more to be able to do this. So she's not really at the feet stage of hurting. She's just trying to get up and stand and be loose enough and paddle. And she was getting there. But guess what? The group, so supportive, applauding, cheering on. And, after she fell, cheering on that, hey, you still did it. You're still getting there. And this is very much a foundational type of sport. And what we used to say, or coin the term of, that everybody starts back to zero on getting on that board. Day to day, your body is different. You change. Maybe it was what you ate. Maybe it's not. Maybe it was lack of sleep for one night. You never know. And I think that that's the fun part about it, is every time is going to be different. And you're not going to know what you're going to see while you're out there, even, or who you might see. So another thing that I've been doing a little bit of content creating on is accessories. There's a ton out there anymore on even what to wear. So there's a whole lot, so many topics, and almost like so little time. But one of them that I would include to say is an anchor. Now, we've talked about anchors on this podcast before, but I've done one as a video as in fun things to do with an anchor. Maybe you're just anchoring up with your friends. Maybe it is windy and you just want to feel the breeze and meditate and take in the sun. That could be it too. The waves as well. Or I have a theory. Anchored and stable while you're trying to stand, not such a bad thing. Not such a bad thing to do if you are having trouble standing, is to use that anchor. If their wind is coming, face into the wind. So the nose of the board is facing that way. So if there is any waves or just a little ripple across the water, you're facing right into it. And you don't have to worry about necessarily moving. Now, one of the theories that I've always said on teaching someone is you want to start moving right away. because it's kind of like a bike. Once you put both feet on the pedals, you got to start moving or you're going to fall over. But everybody is different on how they learn. So to each their own, and there's just different methods. There's different ways to go about teaching someone, and it does depend on nerves, confidence, athletic ability, all these different things to think about for someone. Maybe they have a little bit of fear of water. Maybe it's just balance all in general. I mean, there could be so many different reasons why you would choose to do the anchor, but it's a theory to try. And I have taught people this way to be able to stand. I put them at the pod. And the pod, if you're not familiar, is this big giant circle that connects all the paddle boards in, and that's where I teach from when I do yoga. Now, to get someone to stand, I can coach them from that pod, and they're in front of me, and I can tell them what to do. They still might fall, but at least the board's not getting away from them. They don't have to worry about the paddle. They're just trying to work the body to get up from kneeling, a squat, to stand all the way up. And I think that the repetition out of that and getting some muscle memory going on that repetition will help. Now when you're free on your own, and now you include the rest of the skill set of holding the paddle, putting it in the water, doing the paddle stroke, and then that's your foundation. You have to keep going and keep building. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I would like the message to get out there a little bit more, and these being a little bit shorter of podcast episodes, like I just said. So we do have an anchor on our website for sale, Luna Moon SUP Yoga. It's class pickup only though, just because of the weight, but it is a pretty stable, sturdy anchor. It's not a little one. It's a little bit bigger. It does fold in. It has a really long rope. It'll attach right to the back of the board, and it even includes a little floaty. So that's kind of cool too. So you can see the line when it's in the water. But I just wanted to share that. We still are honoring Luna around here, especially for our upcoming witch paddle, which some people were trying to get ready for the last night and pregame a little and do a little draft version, a little prep before that Friday. Before that Friday SUP witch paddle at the Sylvan Coven is what we call it. But we're honoring Luna we like to do a benefit, like a charity, to the witch paddle, and it is going to Harry Houdini's Siberian Husky Rescue, which is local in the area, doing a little bit of different spell casting to say. And I'm happy for that. They have contacted me back, and I got to tell them a little bit about Luna and her story of building the brand with me for 8 seasons. And so we're gonna do that, and it's pretty full at the moment, but we also are gonna have some other little special things going on, a little more excitement as well, and I can't wait to share that. And if you are looking into iRocker for any gear or accessories that I do not have in stock, I do have an affiliate link now with them, and I can provide that in the show notes as well. But I hope everyone is at least getting out and enjoying some kind of weather, and that we've been having a little bit of a warmer upgrade coming out of Labor Day. And it's just been a great time seeing people, meeting some new people. So that's the excitement I love to have. And again, getting ready for another witch ball after the witch paddle in October, and then the holiday season. So the lotion bars and lip balms are coming out. And of course, a pumpkin spice version of the lip balm will be available for fall on the website, lunamoonsupyoga.com. Go there, visit. I'd love for you to follow along on this journey, and we'll keep it interesting. Thanks for tuning in.